up on this edition of Winthrop Close Up, we look at ideas that range from increased background checks to removal of the Second Amendment as the public debates gun law reform.
We also dropped in on an event the LGBT community held to enlighten students.
With free giveaways and games, Winthrop's Her Campus organization brought an exciting event to campus. All this and more on Winthrop Close Up. Welcome to this week's edition of Winthrop Close Up. I'm Rahaela Johnson.
And I'm Brianna McSwain. A former Supreme Court justice has said that we should do away with the Second Amendment. But what exactly does that mean?
Close Up's Matt Lee looked into this intriguing proposal and brings us this story.
With multiple deadly shootings happening in the past 2 years, gun reform has been a hot topic. But some believe that the Second Amendment is completely unnecessary.
I don't think that's realistic. Justice Stevens was just kind of, he's making a case, but I don't think there's any public sentiment for it. The process of amending the Constitution is very complicated.
Removal of the Second Amendment is an extreme option for gun reform that has been brought up.
There are efforts to reduce ammunition capacity, firing speed, the kinds of modifications that can make a weapon more destructive. Those are more likely to, in my opinion, those kinds of things are more likely to happen than some kind of blanket ban.
While some groups are pushing for a ban on all weapons, even restrictions worry some gun owners because of the precedent it would set.
Can do X, then they can do Y, which is a lot more intrusive, and then Z, which would be total gun confiscation.
With both political parties arguing over ways to address gun violence, removing the Second Amendment might be the most controversial way yet and the least likely to happen. This has been Matthew Lee, Winthrop Close Up.
With the recent school shootings, the issue of gun control will continue to be a subject of discussion around the country. Because this is such an emotional topic, a solution that pleases everyone will be a difficult task.
Close Up took to the Winthrop campus to find out the thoughts of students concerning this hotly debated topic.
I think the most important aspect of the Second Amendment was the fact that at the time that it was established, it was actually very important.
I think that the important part is that people can defend themselves if they need to.
I think it's important to have defense in general, I guess.
So do you think that the Second Amendment is still relevant and important to today's society compared to when it was written?
For the purposes that it was written, no.
I think it's partially outdated. I think a lot of it has to do with those colonial times that we were going through, and I think it just, as dumb as it sounds, we need a constitutional amendment just to go over everything and kind of restructure it.
Yes, but I think that there are protocols that need to be tightened around weaponry.
So what do you think about completely getting rid of the Second Amendment?
I don't think you should completely get rid of it. It did have a point. If it wasn't made, then what would be the point?
I don't think that we should I think that that's kind of like jumping the gun. I don't think there should be one extreme to the other.
I think that, our core Bill of Rights is really important to sustain.
It would probably start a big problem more than it would fix.
Close Up will continue to follow the gun debate and bring you more information as the story unfolds.
From pride parades to influential events, the LGBT community is willing to shed light on what they go through. Global or Gay, Lesbian, Bisexual, Transgender Ally League held an event called LGBT Alphabet Soup, where 4 members of the LGBT community answered questions and shed light on the experiences they have endured every day.
We're a welcoming and friendly bunch. We're just people just like anybody else. We do experience a lot of hardships in life. It's not a choice. but come to Global, talk to one of us. We're usually okay with you and with answering questions.
The audience learned about the differences between every letter in the acronym LGBT and how everyone in the community experiences differ from their coming out stage to what they deal with. If you would like to go to Global, they meet at Thurman 210 at 8 p.m. on Wednesday, where you can get any questions you have answered. It's that time of year again when music is in the air and students get out of their practice room and onto the stage.
Winthrop Think College in the R Word event drew a large crowd looking for information and inspiration. Next on Winthrop Close Up.
Welcome back. Her Campus is a popular online magazine that gives female students the opportunity to cover topics that interest them.
The Winthrop publication of Her Campus is among the top sites in the country. The Her Campus tour made a stop at Winthrop, and Morgan Lowers has the story.
The Winthrop chapter was chosen as one of the stops for Her Campus East Coast tour because it is considered one of the top Her Campus publications.
We are a pink level chapter, which means that we're in the top 15% of over 340 chapters worldwide. So that means that we have like the highest traffic circulation of our articles. We have some really good team bonding events. We have a big chapter. We have 83 girls this semester, which is crazy.
The tour was sponsored by famous brands such as Aeropostale and L'Oreal. The students also loved playing games and taking Polaroid photos.
I think it's a good opportunity to bring the female community together. And I mean, I don't know, the fact that they got free stuff, that's always going to be a good point.
The students were extremely happy and want the event to come back next year. To find out more, check out their Instagram and Twitter page at HC Winthrop. This has been Morgan Lowers, Winthrop Close Up.
If you have a passion for writing, taking pictures, or telling a story, check out the Her Campus Winthrop to get involved.
Winthrop Think College held their In the R Word event, bringing awareness to the power and stigma that words can have. Matt Lee has the story.
The new R word is respect. Respect for people's conditions, their struggles, and their worth as people. That was the driving force behind Winthrop Think College's End the R Word event.
The negative, connotation behind the R word and kind of just trying to eliminate it from people's vocabulary. But
events on this topic happen all around the country. A rally took place in Columbia recently, and many students made the drive to be a part of it.
We just hung out. We met a bunch of people from a bunch of different schools. They talked about how we need to use the word respect instead of the old R word when talking about students with disabilities or anyone with a disability at all. And yeah, it was just a fun time.
Multiple students in WTC and peer mentors spoke about their experiences and how Winthrop has helped them grow and how much respect means to them.
It means a lot because it's like advocating for somebody who can't necessarily stick up for themselves all the time, and it's really empowering.
The WTC had a banner for students to sign and a pledge to end the R word, as well as stickers and ribbons. This has been Matthew Lee, Winthrop Close Up.
Winthrop University's Think College program offers post-secondary education opportunities for students with intellectual disabilities. The program creates customized schedules for each student using a person-centered planning approach. For more information, check out the Winthrop University website. After the break, join us as we check in on the women's tennis team as they prepare for next week's conference tournament.
And if you have for sports and are interested in treating sports-related injuries, Winthrop has a graduate program that is perfect for you.
What is this mess? No edges? Girl, bye. I just can't.
What did she have on? Get out of here. She needs to try again.
Oh my gosh, she's not even matching. Like, oh my goodness. What is she wearing?
She's not even matching.
Maya is so funny.
Oh my gosh.
Maya
I don't
is
even
so
know why.
She about some edgeless.
She's not even matching.
Welcome back. Winning a conference championship is the goal for every Winthrop athletic team.
Wanting to win and winning are two different things. The women's tennis team is on a journey to win such a championship. Reporter Taylor Simpson takes a look at this.
The women's tennis team completed the ultimate feat by staying undefeated throughout conference play. They earned their 8th Big South win, beating Charleston Southern 6-1.
It was a great win, and that gave us the regular season champion. And we're going to be first seeded in the conference tournament, which is next week. So it's been a great semester. The team is doing really well. The girls have been working really hard, and they are ready.
With the conference tournament a week away, head coach Sid Carvalho has his team focused on the final 2 regular season matches.
We play Marshall on Saturday. Right after Marshall, we play North Carolina State in Raleigh, North Carolina. So that's another very tough match, ACC opponent. So, and only after that, we'll be thinking about the tournament.
Although the coach may not be focused on the tournament, the players are excited to show off their hard work.
I am super excited. That's obviously where all of this kind of comes to play, and where we have to showcase, all of the success we've had throughout the season again, and everything's on the line at that point, so super exciting.
The women will look to three-peat as conference champions and make it back to the NCAA tournament. I'm Taylor Simpson, Winthrop Close Up.
If you want to see the team in action, the tournament is at the Rock Hill Tennis Center starting April 18th, and the championship match is on April 21st.
People come from all around the nation for Winthrop's athletic training graduate program. The 2-year program is full of hands-on experience and interaction with Division I athletes. Each sport is given one graduate student to work with for the full 2 years. They diagnose injuries and rehab the athlete back to full health.
I really like Winthrop. It's different from being at the University of Alabama, but it's been a great experience. I've learned a lot. I hope to continue with working with softball as an athletic trainer after leaving Winthrop.
Grace says the toughest part of the program is balancing the amount of hours spent at the ball field with the amount of homework, but in the end, it is so worth it. If you have any more questions, be sure to go to Winthrop's website and look up the Athletic Training Graduate Program.
As the school year winds down, it's time for the students in the music ensemble department to display their talents. Recently, the Ensemble Series featured the Winthrop Trombone Choir and Winthrop Trombone Studio. Close Up's Morgan Lowers files the report.
I thought everybody played great. When students are put in a performance environment, interesting things happen, so that sometimes something doesn't go quite like you plan, and you have to learn to adapt. And so anytime students get a chance to be on stage in front of people, it really helps them grow musically and artistically and just as performers.
A lot of trombonists or musicians in general like to start at the beginning of the piece and go all the way through, and that's a poor habit to start. What I like to do, I like to start at sections that give me trouble, like the trouble spots, because that way, the only way you're going to get better is to work your trouble spots.
Definitely video game medley. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I know a lot of the songs, and it just clicked with me.
If you need cultural event credit, there is still time. There are a number of events between now and April 26th. Check out the Winthrop University website for dates and times. Brianna, have you completed all your cultural event credits yet?
I actually have. I went on a trip last spring break to Savannah, Georgia, so it helped a lot.
Cool. I'm a member of VSU, so I got all of mine out of the way a long time ago.
That's good. That's it for this week's edition of Winthrop Close Up.
Check us out as we bring you the best of Close Up. It will feature a number of our most popular and favorite stories.
Be sure to check us out on Facebook and YouTube.